been acting like a wild man, sleeping like a child. You're so luminous and vibrant. I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom. Always in bloom for so many times I've strayed, cast away on an unknown shore. Those strangers in the sky. I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom. Always in bloom for an infatuated light. Although it hurts me to be with you, I'm always in bloom. Always in bloom for infatuated light. Although it hurts me to be with you, I'm always in bloom. Always in bloom for I'm always in bloom. Always in
G'day everyone, I'm currently here on the edge of the mangroves on the edge of Roebuck Bay in Western Australia. Now, you'd normally assume that I'm here to look for saltwater crocodiles or fish or other marine life, but in actual fact, I'm here to look for a species of snake, and one species in particular that only lives in these mangroves off Roebuck Bay. Now, right now, the timing isn't ideal to look for these snakes. As you can see, the tide's right up, there's nowhere really to look for them. And right now it's the heat of the day. They'll be sheltering in the shade somewhere, keeping cool. But if my timing's right, that means that tonight should be low tide. That means all this will be mudflats, and I'll be able to get out there and spotlight and look for these snakes while they're actively searching for food tonight. And what does a snake that lives exclusively in mangroves find to eat? Mud skippers. After watching the sunset over the ocean, it's time to get out into the mud and search for these snakes. I'm wearing dive boots to walk around these mudflats, as they provide the perfect amount of grip, as well as protection from sharp shells, mangrove roots, and even broken glass, which could cause cuts and likely infections. Tides in the Kimberley region are the highest in Australia. This area I'm currently walking in is the same area you saw in the previous daytime shots. And if I was to be in the same area at high tide, the water level would be 3 to 4 metres above my head right now. While not the mangrove snake I was looking for, this water python was an interesting find. Broome is the very edge of water python's distribution, and records from here in the Kimberley seem very scarce. While not the target species, it was still a welcome sight. Moving on, the snake I'm looking for is a true mangrove specialist, so I've got to explore deeper. Timing is crucial when it comes to looking for these snakes. Not only do I have to wait for night to look for these snakes as they're nocturnal, but I also have to get my tides right. Thankfully, tonight had a low tide, not long after dark, which gave me the perfect opportunity to look for them without setting alarms at stupid hours of the morning. As you can see, mud skippers are common here and therefore provide a staple food source for the snakes. And thankfully, after being eaten alive by mosquitoes for about an hour, I'd managed to find one, the Roebuck Bay or Broome Mangrove Snake. Broome Mangrove snakes belong to the smallest family of snakes in Australia, homolopsid snakes, consisting of only 5 members. These snakes are all venomous, however, as is the case with many Australian snakes, their venom isn't considered dangerous to humans. They're also rear-fanged, meaning their fangs are situated at the back of their mouth, and when catching prey, they often have to chew on it to be able to envenomate it. The Broome mangrove snake was only described in 2011, making it a relatively new species to science. As such, little is still known about them, but so far, it is only known to inhabit the mangroves of Roebuck Bay, meaning it only has a tiny distribution as well as a highly threatened ecosystem due to climate change. These snakes inhabit areas most humans are unlikely to ever explore. The mud in these mangroves can often have you sinking well above your ankles. They're a haven for mosquitoes, and there's also the risk of crocodiles inhabiting the same mudflats. As such, these snakes are rarely encountered, which adds to why we still know so little about them. As you can see, this snake is out actively looking for food. It's making the most of the low tide to gain access onto the mudflats, seeking out mud skippers. Here you can see it watching a crab, which it soon decides isn't an appropriate food item. Interestingly though, another species in this family, the white-bellied mangrove snake, has specialised in eating crabs and other crustaceans, and will often actually dismember them first rather than eating them whole. If you're watching this on a large enough screen, you should be able to notice the snake's nostrils, which are located at the top of its snout. This is due to their aquatic to semi-aquatic nature, and enables them to breathe without exposing too much of their body from under the water. All in all, I think they're a pretty neat little snake that deserves a lot more attention. Thanks for watching. I hope this video gives some exposure to a poorly known snake. If you enjoyed this video or any others, please let us know in the comments, subscribe to the channel, or share it with your friends and family. I hope to see you next week for another episode of Wild Aussie Adventures.